JJ Barnes and you're watching another episode of Creative Writing for Kids. So if you don't know me, if you're new, because I know a few people have come along who haven't watched the earlier videos, I'm JJ, I'm a writer and a screenwriter and a filmmaker. I have books out, a film in production, and I also have been doing these writing advice videos for adults and blogs as well. Stories basically, I do stories either making them or writing them or teaching them. So that's my job and that's why I'm here. This is the first time I've done videos for children, so I'm finding a way of doing that which I hope will be accessible for younger people. So today my video that I'm going to be telling you about is writing flowery language. So when you start writing a story, a lot of your instinct, and this is fine, but your instinct is going to be to try and be impressive. Especially if you're used to writing for teachers, because you want to use big words, you want to make it impressive, you want to find different adjectives and verbs and, you know what I mean, really show off what you are capable of doing, which is completely understandable. And as I say, especially if you're used to writing for teachers, because you'll want to show your vocabulary is impressive, show that you have all these big words at your disposal, and be getting good marks for what you can do. And that's fine. That's writing for teachers. And I guess, I'm not a teacher, as I say, I don't do this. So my guess is that that is what teachers are looking for, because they are teaching you these words and they're teaching you how to do this. So if you're doing that for teachers and you're getting the good marks, that's great. And it is useful to have big words. It's nice to have a big vocabulary because you might find times when it helps. But what you have to be careful of when you're writing stories which aren't for teachers, which are just for people to read, if you layer in loads and loads of big words, long sentences, paragraphs and paragraphs of poetic language, when perhaps a couple of words will do, it doesn't necessarily make for the most fun read. Because what your readers want, the people who come to your story, is they want your story, right? They want to know what happens to your characters. They want to know where they're going next. They want to know how they're going to deal with that problem and who's going to fight the bad guy and see if they find the treasure they want, or do they get to go to the party they want to go to, or will they fall in love? They don't really want to spend like 3 paragraphs reading about how beautiful a river is, or a tree is, or how blue the sky is, because it might make for beautiful imagery and it might look beautiful on the page if you've used beautiful words, but when you're reading, you want your story. So if you are regularly using 20 words when 2 will do, look at your story and start asking, does that contribute to your story, or is that just coming up with fancy words for fancy words' sake? Because a lot of the time you can cut them out, slice them out of your story, and it won't change anything. You might still want to say that there was a beautiful tree, or that there was a lovely river they had to walk down, or you might want to explain how it was a lovely summer's day. And that's fine, like you can do that. I'm looking outside now and it's beautiful and it's worth noting. And occasionally it's nice to go a bit poetic and flowery, because you're a writer and you want to write, and part of writing is the pleasure of the words, and I completely get that, because this is a temptation for me, which is why I understand it. But if you start realising that you're putting more time into describing things in a pretty way than you are telling your story, it's time to get back on track. It's great you've got big words, and you know what? Throw them in occasionally. Like, readers still like them even if they're not teachers. It's nice to see big words, it's nice to see beautiful language. It absolutely is, and there's nothing wrong with using beautiful descriptions. It's just if you do it all the time, then we start reading like we're studying. We don't want to study, we want a story. Unless you want to study, and then big words are great. But that's, again, that's for teachers. So that's my advice. Don't try and be too impressive. Focus on your story. Beautiful language is great, just don't overdo it. Thank you very much for watching. You can find my page, Creative Writing for Kids, on Facebook. It's Creative Writing for Kids with JJ Barnes. I post links over there, I post writing activities, I get questions and people talk to me over there and ask me about what they should do. Yeah, come find me. Parents, on Twitter, I'm Judy Ann Rose, and on Instagram, I'm JJ Barnes. I post stuff over there too. And yeah, I do write adult blogs where they are more detailed and longer. And hopefully if you are a grown-up who wants to get into writing, they might help you, and I have a whole series of videos on here too. So yeah, come say hi, come find me. Hopefully I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.